Good afternoon, everyone. We'll just wait for a few more seconds for everyone to come in. This interactive webinar that we have for you in part of From Kitchen to Concierge series webinars for helping your hospitality business. Today's presentation is an exciting one as we have two great panelists in the lending community here in Miami-Dade, as they'll be talking in regards of the financing your food businesses and get the perspective from the lenders. So if you have any questions throughout today's presentation, strongly encourage you to raise your hand. I'll be more than happy to open up the mic so that you could ask your questions, your lending questions that you might have for them, so you could become bankable or connect with them to assist you with your financial needs. In addition, if you have any additional questions, just general housekeeping questions, don't worry. Shoot me an email in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to answer those questions for you, along with my colleague Gabby as well. So before I proceed, this is a good opportunity to introduce yourself. What food industry, what hospitality business are you in? How long have you been in business, so that we could have some additional examples, scenarios, along with Ascendis and Miami Bayside Foundation could talk about some of their success stories of some of their clients who have obtained funds that are in the hospitality business. But at the same time, none of this would have been possible without a collaborative partnership with the Chaplain School of Hospitality and Tourism Management under the FIU, Florida International University, and the Florida SBDC at FIU under the FIU College of Business. So before we proceed, I want to introduce Francie Rueda and Julio Villiers, as they'll briefly introduce themselves, who they are, what they do. And Francie, the floor is yours.
Hi everyone. Thank you, Jesus, for the introduction. I'm very happy to be here and to have the opportunity to share our passion about supporting small businesses. I'm from Colombia. I have been working in banking and financial services for over 30 years, always with a focus on small businesses. I am with the Miami Bayside Foundation, and what we do is to support small businesses located in South Florida. We do it through loans and technical assistance.
And Julio, how about yourself?
Francie, you said 30 years? You look like a baby. You look like a baby.
I
No, it can't be
started
30
when I
years.
was a baby.
Yeah, okay. Well, you look good.
Thank you.
So Jesus, thank you for that introduction. Thank you for inviting me and participating today. Again, my name is Julio Villiers. I am with Ascendis. Ascendis is a CDFI, which stands for Community Development Financial Institution. And our goal, our mission is to help the small businesses so they can grow and expand. Typically, our loan programs are up to $50,000, so we are a true micro lender. Again, we're here to help. Appreciate what Jesus Padilla is doing for all of you guys. Myself, I used to be part of the team at the SBDC, so I know what everything that they do to help you guys out. So thank you, and I'll be here.
Okay, and then Julio, I just want to go back a little bit more with the term rates. So what are some additional lengthening of the loans? You said it was 4 years. Is that correct?
So yeah, we do have either a 4 or 5 year program, depending on the amount of the loan. If it's up to $25,000, our term loan is 4 years or 48 months. Anything above $25,000 up to $50,000, it is 5 years or 60-month term. It is
And
a
is there
fixed.
any?
It is a fixed rate.
Perfect. And is there like any prepayment penalties if one decides to pay ahead of time?
Absolutely none. You can pay prepaid at any time. There is no prepayment penalty.
Okay. And then are there any limitations related to geography or business status or designations?
So as far as geography, we're open. We're really a nationwide CDFI. Our headquarters is in New York City. Obviously, I work in Florida, but we're open and we help small business throughout the entire country. As far as the industries, there are some limitations. There are some industries that we don't cater to, and those are typically the same ones as any other bank. You know, anything that has to do with real estate, anything that had to do with adult entertainment, cash businesses, drug related type of business. Nonprofit, we do not do. You know, it's interesting because we are a nonprofit, but we do not lend to nonprofits, and it has to be a U.S. based business.
Perfect. Okay, and Francie, with you in regards of the length of loans, what loan programs do you have, and what are some of the sources, along with the limitations as well?
Okay, so our program is focused on small businesses located in Miami-Dade, Broward, or Monroe. We are proud of work with startups and companies in operation. It's something that makes us very unique. We startups are welcome. It could be a company that wants to open the doors of the business, or companies in operation for several years. What is important, really important, is to have a clear strategy, business plan, projections, to be prepared to seeking the money. Additional considerations and the conditions: the maximum amount 250,000, the minimum amount 5,000. The money can be used for working capital, hiring personnel to acquire or update equipment, vehicle, all the needs related to a company that wants to start operation, or companies that want to expand the operation, the capacity of the businesses. We are focused on minorities. It means businesses owned by women, Hispanics, people of color, Asians, and Native Americans. We do not have any kind of penalties in case of prepayment. You can prepay at any time, and we are going to respect our interest rate, 6%, even if you are seeking the 5,000 or the maximum 250,000.
Okay. And then with Nancy, in regards of, like, obviously, everyone that's in attendance, it's in the food industry, hospitality business. Can they also be a startup, or does the business have to be generating revenue to qualify? What is like the minimum threshold to at least have a seat at the table when the time is right?
Thank you for that question, Jesus, because specifically for the hospitality and talking about businesses related to food, what we ask doesn't matter if it's a startup or a company in operation, both are welcome under our program. But what is really important is the experience. What we ask is that the owner or owners of the company should have previous experience in the industry as a chef, as a manager, maybe working in a food truck, but to really understand the complexity of the industry and, of course, a clear business strategy behind the seeking.
And Julio, how about yourself?
So we do not work with startups. The business has to be already up and running and generating revenues for at least, and when we say at least, it's 6 months. So we are going to look at the bank statements. We're going to see what kind of cash flow that business has. And based on that, we will be able to determine whether the client is able to get a loan.
And you mentioned startup. What's the definition of a startup? Like less than 1 year, 3 years?
Again, for us, it's a minimum of 6 months, and they have to show that they are up and running and they're already generating income. It's not enough for people to say, well, I registered my company last November, but I haven't started doing anything. well, it will, for us, that's not really an acceptable business. We need to see that the company is generating income and revenues.
Perfect. Okay. And then I actually had someone that had their hand raised. So Rita, I'm gonna open up the mic for you. So in case you have any additional questions in the time being, please raise your hand and either myself or Gabby will be able to give you permission to speak. So Rita, the floor is yours. Okay, that's not a problem. Okay. Perfect. Okay, and then I have an additional question, Julio, with yourself. Like obviously, small businesses is always fluctuating, it's going up and down, based on the current trends. In with your experience working with Ascendis, with the SBA, with the SBDC, what have been some of the common reasons that small businesses, especially in the food industry, are declined for financing?
So to me, whether it's in the food industry or it's in general, any kind of industry, typically there are, I would say, three main reasons why a business is not able to receive funding. And those are what we call the 3 C's of credit. The company may not have enough cash flow to be able to repay that loan that they're looking for. The company may not have the credit, or the owners may not have the credit that the bank needs to be able to get into the loan application portal. Or it could be, again, it could be the credit, it could be the cash flow.
Capacity?
Those to me, huh?
The capacity? How about the capacity?
Yeah, the capacity goes with the cash flow. We need to see the cash flow. We need to see if they have enough capacity to be able to repay that loan. So I would say historically, and again, this could go for any industry, not just the food industry. Cash flow and credit is king. So you need to make sure that your company has a good cash flow, and that you check your credit before you decide you want to apply for a loan.
If Nancy, how about yourself?
Sorry, can you repeat, please? It was for me?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, what are some of the common reasons that businesses are declining for financing, from your point of view, from the clients from Bayside, Miami Bayside Foundation?
Yes, I will say that are very similar than the reasons that Julio shared with us. I could add the C, like the character of the customer. We consider the credit report. And because it's important to see that the company has the capacity to pay back a loan, but at the same time that the owner has the will to pay the loan. But it's different, it's a complement. So I will add to the 2C that Julio mentioned, the character of the customer. That includes the capacity, the will to repay back, and the experience that they have in the industry. For any industry, as Julio mentioned.
Perfect. And then, Francie, with you, like, what type of documents do you ask for the potential borrowers? Is it like the business plans, financials, projections? How about blueprints of the respected, the restaurant or food truck?
I will say that we really want to understand the business strategy, to understand the potential of the customer. How do they have a good opportunity for the business owner and for the foundation to get a loan repaid on time? So what we do, and the reason is because we are very flexible, we take risk that the traditional banks don't do it. So that's why we ask for documentation, let's say a business plan with a clear business strategy and all the details about the how the company is going to open the business or how it is going to scale the business. So we ask for business plan projections and additional documentation about the company, the owners, and the project. Bank statements, taxes, financial statements, the permits in the case of the restaurants or the businesses related to the food. The permits are very, very important, and we want to see that the company has all in order, that it complies with the requirements for those specific industries.
And how about with you, Julio?
So in our case, since we do not cater to startups, business plans in our case is not necessary. We don't ask for business plan. We do not ask for profit and loss or any other type of fancy financials. What we want to know is what you're doing now, today. Okay, so for that reason, this is what we ask. We're going to ask you for the last 3 months of your bank statements, and if you file taxes, hopefully you do, your 2023 business tax returns. Those two pieces of financials will tell me a lot about your business. They're going to tell me how the company flows, how much money's coming into the company, how much money's going out of the company. And based on that, then I will proceed and ask the client to submit the application formally. Now, there are times when we may use the tax returns in place of the bank statements. There are some businesses that are seasonal, meaning that maybe when they come to us, the last 3 months may not be the best 3 months of the year. So sometimes we may ask the client to provide up to 6 months of bank statements, and the tax returns will give us a better idea of the how healthy that company is.
And then I actually had a question here in the chat. Like how about for bankruptcy? Like if I file for bankruptcy, like but it was health related issues, would that be deemed based on their potential access to capital for their hospitality business?
So for ascenders, regardless, again, whether it's for the hospitality industry or any type of industry, we do have a number of requirements that the client has to meet. One of those requirements is that they have filed for bankruptcy. They have not filed for bankruptcy in the past 12 months, okay, and or had any foreclosure in the last 24 months. Those are two of some of the requirements that we have, or guidelines. In our case, we require the client to have a minimum credit score of 575 or higher. And 575 may sound like a very flexible number, but that's not the only thing we're going to look at. Again, we're going to see if they have any recent foreclosure or bankruptcy, and we also going to see if they have any if they owe or they have past due on either credit cards or any other loans of over $3,000. Any of those will probably give us an automatic decline. So that's why it's important that you check and you look at your credit report before you decide to go see a lender.
Okay. And then a question for you: the 575 credit score, is it personal or business or both?
So we use personal guarantee. So yeah, it is going to be on the owner of the business. Also keep in mind, if any business has more than one owner and they're 20% or more, they all have to be on the application.
Francis, do you want to share me a little bit more, or Julio spoke Right on point.
Yes, it's very, very similar. Our considerations are very similar than Ascendus. Our credit score minimum, personal credit score as well, minimum 575, similar with the bankruptcy and foreclosure. However, in our case, under our program, we always have a conversation with the owner about what happened. We ask about the situation that generated the bankruptcy or the late payments, because sometimes it's due to financial hardship or maybe health issues. So we really want to understand what happened, and more important, the actions the entrepreneur took to fix the situation. So always is like, tell me more, what happened? We really want to understand the situation and then make a decision to move forward with the application, or if not, we are going to advise the entrepreneur to attend classes, work on fixing or repairing the credit, and then come back. It's like a flexible program, because we really want to support the businesses.
Okay. And then I just have a question for everyone in the chat, or all the attendees, because it's gonna be a segue with the next part of the conversation. Because I had one right here. It is, what challenges did you experience when applying for the loans or capital needs? So that Francie and Julio have additional resources that can assist you to empower you to correct those issues or mitigate those challenges. So question number one is, have you ever applied for a loan for your food-related hospitality business? If so, what challenges did you experience? And Francie's organization is Miami Bayside Foundation. All participants will be receiving the contact information from Francie and Julio, and along they will also be receiving your information as well for their upcoming events, resources, because I know that afterwards, I know Francie and Julio have some additional information that could definitely benefit your business needs. So okay, so I have one right here. It was too young of early business stage and credit. I had too much overhead. Okay. Does anyone else have any additional questions or any comments?
And that's, again, that's the typical reason why almost everybody may not be able to get funding. And he just said it, capital and credit. Those are the main two items that most businesses, regardless of industry, will have as a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Okay.
will say that in our on our side, especially related to the food industry, the experience, because its experience is critical in that industry. It's an extra challenge to understand the dynamic, the environment or of the industry. Yeah.
Okay. And then okay, are there any funds for those that are literally just launching, except from angel investors?
At this time, we don't have any programs or any grants. But again, we can always keep in touch and see if future we have anything for.
No, at this point, we do not have a grant, but the interest rate in our loan it's very low, 6% per year, fixed 5 years. So it's a good interest rate, especially if you compare that with the banks. 17, 20%, and they don't work with companies with a revenue lower than 1 million, credit score minimum 700. So it's a good opportunity to work with the CDFI as Ascendus MBF. It's a great opportunity for entrepreneurs.
And then do you look for certain profit margin requirements or COGS not to exceed the 25 to 33%?
No, in our case, no. What we really analyze is the capacity of repayment of the company. We analyze the indebtedness of the company, and to be sure that the net income of the company is enough to pay back the loan, but not related to the cost of goods sold or the margins. No.
Okay. And then okay, the other one right here. It is, what additional resources or support does Ascendis and Miami Bayside Foundation has for the small businesses, the entrepreneurs, for them to become bankable?
So at Miami Bayside Foundation, we have the the education program. What we do is to provide entrepreneurs with workshops in English and in Spanish that assess or help the customer to be bankable. We have trainings about how to create a business plan. We have trainings about marketing, about financials, about artificial intelligence. And actually, we have a 5 weeks training, and the purpose is to sharp the entrepreneur abilities and the managerial skills, and to achieve you during assist you during the process. That's what we have, and all for free. We have programs in person and virtual and for free.
And Julio, I know that
And
Ascendis has some really good trainings in regards of credit management, right?
yeah, we do have a program, and everybody in the company was just qualify to do that training. It's called credit training, which we would we love to partner with, even with you guys, and go over a training like that. Now, unlike Miami Bayside Foundation, we don't do as much of that training and technical assistance. But what we do is, obviously, we have a partnership with not only Miami Bayside Foundation, we have partnership with Prospera, we have partnership with you guys, Jesus SBDCs, and that's what we do. We refer a lot of our clients, whether they need help with government contracting, whether they need help with marketing, anything that has to do with growing their business. Obviously, we have a close relationship within our group, and that it's how we are able to refer those clients for any kind of technical assistance.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
and what you said, it is very, very important, because our training, it's about classes, workshops, but sometimes entrepreneurs require like a mentor, a consultant, the one-on-one conversation, and that's when we work with, as Julio said, Prospera, the SBDC. They have great, great resources and for free, so take advantage of those.
And then afterwards, I know that I had a comment right here. Could we have a link? Can we have the link for the loan at 6%, please?
Yes, of
So
course.
yeah, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And then now Julio, for you, have there been like any success stories of some of your clients that have Ascendis has worked with in the food or hospitality business that they have blossomed from getting the funds through Ascendis?
Well, it's interesting you said that, because we did get someone coming over from one of our funders came from Puerto Rico not last week, the week before, and they wanted to get to know more about what we do and how we help clients. And it happens that the client that we visited is a bakery. It's a bakery, and that bakery came, actually, it's just an interesting story, because that bakery was a referral for me when I was a consultant at SBDC. And when we visited this company, they asked the lady from the funder asked, so tell me what has ascending mean to, what has it meant to you? And her answer was everything. Everything, because that first loan that lady got was able to just reignite the business and grow the business. And you probably know who they are, Jesus, but I'm not gonna name it. So that is specifically a food related business. It's a bakery, very very successful business, and that's one I can probably think of very closely.
And Francie, I know for you, you have plenty, from your portfolios, but like, are there like any? Yeah, obviously, is there like a particular food related hospitality? Is it more like more retail? Is it more food trucks? Is it more brick and mortar?
So I will say that we have several businesses. We have food trucks. We have restaurants that open the doors with our money. Businesses that open a second facility with the loans that we provided. Companies that started preparing food at home, and now they have multiple facilities. Companies that started working at home, and now they have a commercial kitchen assisting or working with other small businesses. So the truth that we have beautiful, beautiful histories about customers growing, scaling, starting the businesses. So always when somebody asks me to pick one, it's very, very difficult because all histories are beautiful. We have women, we have Hispanics, we have people of color, and as Julio said, they put all the passion, the dreams, the savings, all in those businesses. So it's the truth that I feel honored to have the opportunity to serve those companies and to see them succeed with all the challenges. But the truth that we have a lot of businesses related to the food industry, successful businesses with big challenges, but always hard workers. So yeah, yes, that's what we
Yeah,
do.
because I know that one of our clients that we referred them to you, it was almost like 18 months for the grand opening, with all the permits, the licensing, with the city code, everything. But at the same time, it is, it's everyone's determination and everyone being bought in. But then,
Yeah.
how about
However,
franchising?
sorry, I interrupted you. I agree with you. Determination is important, and it's key to succeed. But unfortunately, it's not enough. The customers must be prepared as well. So the desire to succeed is important, but it's not enough, and they will need access to capital at certain point to open the business, to grow the business, and they must be prepared to do it.
And how about franchising? Obviously, that's always a big hurdle, because obviously, like, the franchisor might have some lending options for the franchisee. Um, do you lend franchises, or what's the regulations on that front?
Yes.
We don't specifically send us. Remember, our maximum loan amount today is 50,000, and I think that in cases like that, it would have to go through an SBA type of loan. But then I'll let Francis.
Yes, what is usually is that when somebody wants to acquire a franchise, they demand a lot of money. However, we are open to work with a franchise. So yes, if they have a good, like they are taking enough risk, we want to participate on that process. So yes, we work with startups or franchises. So yes.
Perfect. Okay.
I think the main thing is that, as Francis has mentioned a couple of times, and this is the main thing, you need to have a background. You have to have experience in the industry. Okay, it's not just say, okay, I graduated, I'm an attorney, but you know what, I want to open a restaurant. It's hard. It's hard for anybody to just jump from one industry
Yes.
to
Or I
food
am a
industry.
good cook. Okay, good. But
Yeah,
but
yeah.
especially the food industry, it requires a lot of skills, knowledge. It's a great industry, of course, with a lot of opportunities and a lot of challenges.
A
Yeah.
lot of challenges.
And then as we're gonna go to the final question, then afterwards I'll open up the mics for everyone else. But before I do, I have one question right here. What benchmarks do you require or look for when a food business plan to scale from B2C to sell also B2B? For example, from retail to consumers to ad selling to businesses as wholesale. So it's diversifying their portfolio.
That's, I will say that under our program, it's something that you should do. That's your homework, to identify the benchmark and to show us that you know the answer to that. Because the truth is that we are not the experts. We know a little about too many things. But you are the expert, you are the person taking the risk, and you, in our case, through a business plan, you should show us that you have the answer, and we are going to make a decision based on that.
And Jesus, that's why you guys, CSBDC, have so many great consultants. You
Yeah.
guys can bring in people that can do market research. They can
Yeah.
do, things that will help that client, go from B2C to B2B. So even though I don't have the expertise, just like Francis just said, I know you need to have a consultant that can help that client pick the right business.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have consultants that can assist you with the operations and strategic approach, because yeah, you might go to B2B, but do we have the actual Bs to become your deal customers?
Yeah.
So that's one avenue how the consultants will be able to do market research and see if it's the great strategic approach to go that route or create another brand within the business. Because sometimes we have ice cream shop. Everyone loves ice cream, but I want to have another upscale different brand for the health conscious, for the vegan products than with the everyday ice cream as well. So you have two different brands, but I want to start selling to the schools or to the universities, anything on those sorts, to become a wholesale or a vendor for the municipalities/agencies.
And all
So
of this, and all of
yeah.
this expertise, and all of this expertise is provided for free. SPDC does have the consultants that can help you at no cost to you, absolutely no cost to you.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And then so I want y'all to have some questions ready to go, because I'll be opening up the mics after this question that I ask Julio and Flancy. In closing, from your point of view, what is one piece of advice would you give to the business owners that are present today?
Well, make sure that you obviously love what you're doing. You need to have a lot of passion, because being an entrepreneur, being a small business owner, is not an easy task. So you have to definitely not so much do it for the money. Money hopefully will come eventually, but you have to do it because you have passion for what you're doing.
Yeah, I will say that add to the passion, like do your homework, and is to be prepared. Access to capital takes time. is not necessarily difficult. What is difficult is to be prepared. And you have all those great resources like the SBDC, people that really want to work with you and to assist you and to see your business succeed. So be prepared and take advantage of all the resources available to assist you.
I'm no lender, but since I've been working with a lot of small businesses, with our colleagues also with the Access Capital, it's one, know your numbers. Because at the end of the day, numbers don't lie, and be realistic. But most importantly, do not commingle your personal finance with the business finance. Have everything separated. That is rule number one, because if not, it's going to get messy on the accounting side, but also it's going to not present the whole narrative to present it to the respective lenders on that front.
That's correct.
And then I had the comment based on the B2C and B2B. And the reason why it was asked is because when selling to B2C, it is a cash-based business, while B2B is credit terms.
Yeah, so in that case is what you should ask it for the difference of the working capital, because of course you are going to need funding for the accounts receivable or the new accounts receivable, maybe 30, 60 days net. And that's why we have working capital, money for working capital. So it's not a problem. It's important to understand your new customers, how much money are you going to need, and ask for the money. Yeah, it's not.
I think we are one a unique situation, and I don't know about Francis and Miami Bayside, but we do offer a line of credit,
That's good.
which is a great tool for those people that are, like you said, in that crunch where they may need money in between the time that they get the funding from their clients. So we do offer a line of credit for that purpose.
Yeah, we don't have
Or
it, and
just
it's fantastic. Your line of credit, Julio, is fantastic. And because you don't want to take money that you need only for 60 days and then funding for 5 years. So that's the money that we have. But when you have that kind of line of credit, low interest rate, it's done. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the end goal is that when you're able to repay the line of credit with the cash flow, that you're self-funding that line of credit for yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So in other words, what you're saying, the best time to get capital is the time that you don't need capital, right? Because everything is a narrative.
Oh
No,
my
but
God.
at the same time, like, are there any additional questions from the participants on how I can assist you? I just actually have one comment. I'm looking at the Miami Bayside website. Is it only for Florida residency or business in Florida?
The business must be registered in Broward, Miami-Dade, or Monroe.
In our case, obviously, as I mentioned at the start of the presentation, we are nationwide. And one of the unique things that we have also is that we do work with those people that are still not, they still haven't defined their residency, meaning they do have a business, it's a good business, but they're still working on getting their residency, finalized. So we can work with those people.
And then, Tamika, just shoot me an email. I'll put my email in the chat, and I'll be more happy to connect you with the local SBDC in your area, as I have a good relationship with the colleagues from that SBDC. Okay. Okay. Let me see. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. No, I don't have any questions. Okay. Yeah, so if there's no questions, just don't hesitate, shoot me an email. I'll be more happy to relay the question to Francie and to Julio. But at the same time, any way that we can assist you with your business needs, don't hesitate. We're family. As even the ecosystem that we have in the community and here in Miami-Dade, it's strong, and everyone collaborates with each other. But definitely, I want to thank you, Francie and Julio. But at the same time, I want to thank all the participants in today's presentation. Like I said, if there's any way we can assist you, we're an email, a phone call, a webinar away. But definitely encourage you to continue participating our Tasty Tuesdays webinars, as next week is going to be really informative of understanding your pricing within your menu. Then 2 weeks later, it is how to make your social media appetizing. So definitely it's a great segue to continue having that conversation, because perhaps you might need funds for your marketing strategies, your marketing plan, or
Yeah.
perhaps the prices of the eggs, if you're a baker, might be fluctuating. You need some funds. So definitely this is a good opportunity for you to do the due diligence, do the research, have the questions ready, so that our access to capital consultants / community partners in the community and in the lending realm will be more than happy to guide you with the next steps. So like that, you'll be able to own the table when the time is right. So I want to thank you all, Fancy and Julio. Thank you once again,
Thank you.
and
Thank
I'll
you.
see you
Thank you,
at our
Jesus.
next week's event. Take care,
Thank you so
everyone.
much. Take care.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Take care.
everybody.
All right.